Good morning to all of you. I am Tannu from BSc Chemistry Honors first year. I am preparing a video for visually impaired student. My chapter is from organic chemistry, that is coal and petroleum. Now let's start. Coal and petroleum. Minerals, useful chemicals found in the lithosphere. Fractional distillation, separation of a mixture, example petroleum, into several useful products by heating in a tall tower. Offshore drilling. Drilling for petroleum under the seabed. Energy crisis, depletion of the energy source due to their faster rate of consumption. Natural resources. Air, water, soil, forest, and minerals are called natural resources. The man had been using these for a long time. Increasing population forced him to overuse the resources. Some of such resources are regenerated with time. Depending upon the availability of various resources in nature, the natural resources can be broadly classified into inexhaustible natural resources and existable natural resources. Inexhaustible natural resources. The resources which are present in an unlimited quantity in nature and are not likely to get exhausted by human activities are called inexhaustible natural resources. Example: wind, water, sunlight, etc. are inexhaustible natural resources. Second is existable natural resources. The resources which are present in a limited quantity in nature and are likely to get exhausted over a certain period of time are called existable natural resources. Example: petroleum, coal, natural gas, forest, minerals, wildlife, etc. The minerals. Minerals are the backbone of industry. Most minerals are obtained from lithosphere, that is the upper layer of the earth. Some important minerals are rock salt, mica, coal, petroleum, metal and their ores, limestone, and sand. These minerals were formed due to very slow processes taking place inside the earth. These minerals are distributed in the earth crust differently. These minerals are mined from the earth and processed to obtain useful products. In the last few decades, the consumption of minerals has increased rapidly. Since minerals are the non-renewable resources, these cannot be replenished easily. Therefore, we should use minerals judiciously and economically so that these could last longer. Coal. Coal is one of the most important mineral and earliest used fossil fuels. It occurs at varying depths under the upper crust of the earth. Coal beds generally contain large amount of methane. In India, coal deposits are found mainly in Jharkhand, Jharia, Bokaro, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, and West Bengal. How is coal formed? Coal is found deep inside the earth in the form of coal beds. Coal was formed by the anaerobic thermal degradation of the cellulosic material of big plants, trees, which got buried inside the earth millions of years ago. Anaerobic thermal degradation of wood is also termed carbonization. Carbonization is a slow process and may take thousands of years to take place. Thus, the slow conversion of wood into coal under the influence of high temperature, high pressure, and in the absence of air is termed carbonization. Wood under the effect of high temperature and pressure and in the absence of air gets converted into coal through a number of steps, each step leading to an increased carbon content. The sequence of changes is wood to peat, that is light brown, and then again heating converted to lignite, that is brown, and then bituminous coal, that is black, and at last anthracite, that is bright black. Common varieties of coal. The common varieties of coal are peat, lignite, bituminous coal, and anthracite. The calorific value of coal depends upon its carbon content, so the calorific value increases in going from wood to anthracite. That is wood, peat, lignite, bituminous coal, and anthracite. Use of coal. Different varieties of coal are used for different purposes. Bituminous coal is commonly used as a household fuel and in industry. Some common uses of coal are listed below. Coal is used as a fuel. Coal is used for the manufacture of coke, coal tar, and coal gas. Coal gas is also used as a fuel. Coal is used for the manufacture of synthetic petrol and synthetic natural gas. Coal is used as a source of many organic compounds such as benzene, toluene, phenol, naphthalene, etc. Coal is used in the extraction of metals. Take a review. The resources which are present in an unlimited quantity in nature and are not likely to get exhausted by human activities are called inexhaustible natural resources. Sunlight, air, water are the examples. The resources which are present in a limited quantity in nature and are likely to get exhausted over a certain period of time are called exhaustible natural resources, like forest, wildlife, coal, petroleum, natural gas. Coal, natural gas, and petroleum are fossil fuels. Common varieties of coal are peat, lignite, bituminous coal, anthracite. Anthracite has the highest proportion of carbon. Of all the varieties of coal, anthracite has the highest calorific value. Now, destructive distillation of coal. Coal is not pure carbon, it is a mixture of large number of complex organic compounds. On heating strongly in the absence of air, coal gives many useful products. The breaking up of coal by heating it at 1000 to 1400 degrees Celsius in the absence of air or oxygen is known as the destructive distillation of coal. The product obtained from destructive distillation of coal are coke, coal gas, coal tar, and ammoniacal solution, that is an aqueous solution containing ammonia and ammonium salt. In a laboratory, the destructive distillation of coal can be carried out by using a setup shown in the given figure. Coke. The grayish-black residue left after the destructive distillation of coal is called coke. It is about 98% carbon. Coke is obtained from coal by removing moisture and other volatile matter from it. Thus we can say coke is equal to coal minus moisture plus volatile matter. Uses of coke. Some important uses of coke are: coke is used as a domestic fuel. Coke is used as a reducing agent in metallurgical processes. Coke is used for producing fuel gases such as water gas, that is CO plus H2, and producer gas, that is CO plus N2. Coke is used for producing carbides such as calcium carbide, that is CaC2, silicon carbide SiC, and aluminum carbide Al4C3. Calcium and aluminum carbides are very useful and cheap raw materials for petrochemical industry. Silicon carbide is very hard and used as an abrasive. Coal tar. The black tarry material obtained during the destructive distillation of coal is called coal tar. Coal tar is a highly viscous liquid with an unpleasant odor. Actual composition of coal tar depends upon the variety of coal used and the temperature of distillation. Coal tar is not a single compound, it is a mixture of about 200 different compounds of carbon. Coal tar can be separated into many valuable products by fractional distillation. Coal tar is a valuable source of raw material for manufacturing various substances like synthetic dyes, drugs, explosives, perfumes, and many other useful organic compounds. Coal gas. The gaseous product obtained by the destructive distillation of coal is called coal gas. The main constituent of coal are the hydrogen H2, methane CH4, and carbon monoxide CO. These gases burn to produce heat, that is, these gases are combustible. Therefore, the combustible component of coal gas are hydrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. Coal gas contains three combustible gases, that is hydrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. Both hydrogen and methane have very high calorific value. As a result, coal gas also has a high calorific value. Uses of coal gas. Coal gas is an excellent gaseous fuel. In earlier days, the coal gas was used for various purposes: as a domestic industrial fuel for heating purposes, as an illuminant for domestic street lighting, for providing an inert reducing atmosphere in reaction vessels, and in certain metal extraction processes. Since better fuels for domestic use and plenty of electricity for lighting purposes and are now available, hence nowadays coal gas is not used as a domestic fuel or as an illuminant. Coal gas is used only as a fuel for industrial heating and for maintaining an inert reducing atmosphere in reacting vessels. Do you know, use of coal gas for street lighting was very common until the early part of this century. In Mumbai, it was used for lighting homes, factories, and streets until 1950. Take a revision. The breakup of coal by heating it at 1000 to 1400 degrees Celsius in the absence of air is known as the destructive distillation of coal. The main product of the destructive distillation of coal are coke, coal gas, water, and ammoniacal liquor. The grayish-black residue left after destructive distillation of coal is called coke. The black tarry material obtained during the destructive distillation of coal is called coal tar. Coal tar is a valuable source of raw material for synthetic dyes, drugs, explosives, perfumes, and many organic compounds. Coal gas is obtained during destructive distillation of coal. Its main components are hydrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. Petroleum. Petroleum is a viscous, dark-colored, color varying from amber to black, fluorescent liquid which occurs deep inside the earth. It has an unpleasant odor. Petroleum is lighter than water. Petroleum, as it occurs, cannot be used for any useful purposes. That is why petroleum is also called crude oil. More usable forms can be obtained by refining it. Do you know the name petroleum means oil of rocks because it is found deep inside the earth, trapped in rocks. Petro means rock and oleum means oil. Composition of petroleum. Actual composition of petroleum or crude oil depends upon the place of its origin, but it contains a large number of different hydrocarbons and certain organic compounds containing nitrogen, oxygen, and sulfur also. So we can say that petroleum or crude oil is a complex mixture of a large number of organic compounds of different types mixed with saline water or seawater and still fine dust particle. How is petroleum formed? Petroleum or crude oil was formed due to decomposition of the organisms living in the sea under high temperature, high pressure, and in the absence of the air. The remains of the dead organisms sank to the bottom of the sea. Gradually, these were covered by sand and clay. Over a period of millions of years, these remains got converted into petroleum under the combined effect of high temperature, high pressure, and bacteria in the absence of air. The petroleum so formed passed through porous rocks until it got trapped between some impervious rocks. The more volatile components of petroleum form a gaseous cover over petroleum. Such a gaseous mixture covering the crude oil is known as natural gas. Mining of petroleum. Petroleum occurs at a depth ranging from a few hundred meters to about 3 kilometers. Holes are drilled into the earth crust and pipes are inserted until the pipes reach the petroleum deposit. Crude oil gushes out of the pipe due to high internal pressure of the natural gas. Later, petroleum is pumped out with the help of pumps. Refining of petroleum. Petroleum, that is crude oil, consists of a large number of saturated hydrocarbons mixed with seawater and silt, fine clay. It cannot be used as such. However, petroleum can be separated into several useful products by fractional distillation. The process of separating petroleum into usable fractions by fractional distillation is called refining of petroleum. It is also called fractional distillation of petroleum. It is carried out in a petroleum refinery. Petroleum is refined in a tall steel fractionating tower fitted with hold shelves. Crude oil is heated to about 400 degrees Celsius in a furnace and the vapor is fed into the tower. As the vapor moves up, the high boiling components get condensed and return to the lower part of the tower. The low boiling component move upward and condense in the upper part of the column. The uncondensed fraction goes out as gas through the outlet at the top. The gas which goes out of the column is known as petroleum gas. The least volatile fraction of petroleum is collected from an outlet at the bottom of the column. Various fractions, each having different boiling range, are removed from the outlets at different height of the tower as shown in the figure. Do you know, nowadays petroleum is also mined by drilling holes into the seabed. Such a drilling is called offshore drilling. The first oil well was drilled in Pennsylvania, that is USA, in 1859. Fossils in your car. The carbon of petroleum in the tank of your car was once a part of the plant and green algae that lived millions of years ago. Some of these dead plants and algae got buried under the sediments of seas and oceans. Over the years, high pressure, high temperature, and the anaerobic bacteria converted the organic material of the dead plants and algae into hydrocarbons, that is petroleum, natural gas, and coal. In India, petroleum refineries are located at Koyali, Mumbai, Cochin, Madras, Visakhapatnam, Haldia, Broni, Guwahati, Digboi, and Mathura. Many more refineries are being set up to meet the growing need of the petroleum product in our country. A list of various fractions obtained during the refining of petroleum is given below. Petroleum gas, boiling range up to 40 degrees Celsius, number of carbon atom 1 to 4, uses as domestic fuel for producing carbon black. Second, petroleum and light naphtha. Boiling range 40 degrees Celsius to 170 degrees Celsius. Number of carbon atom 5 to 10. Uses as fuel for automobile as a solvent for dry cleaning. Third, kerosene. Boiling range 170 to 250 degrees Celsius. Number of carbon atoms 10 to 12. Uses as a domestic fuel and illuminant. Fourth, diesel. Boiling range 250 degrees Celsius to 350 degrees Celsius. Number of carbon atoms 13 to 15. Uses as a fuel for trucks, buses, railways, engines, water pumps and generators. Fuel oil. Boiling range 350 degrees Celsius to 400 degrees Celsius. Number of carbon atoms 15 to 18. Used as an industrial fuel for boilers and furnaces. Residue. Lubricating oil, paraffin wax and S-flat. Number of carbon atoms 17 to 20 and 20 to 30 as a lubricant for machine, for making candles, shoe policies and grease, for making roads. Petroleum product used as fuels. Petroleum gas, petrol, kerosene, diesel, fuel oils, etc. Petroleum products not used as fuels. Petroleum ether, lubricating oil, grease, petroleum jelly, paraffin wax and pitch. Natural gas and compressed natural gas. Natural gas. The gaseous mixture of lower hydrocarbons which occurs deep inside the earth, either alone or covering the crude oil in an oil field, is called natural gas. Natural gas mainly consists of methane. Natural gas is an ideal fuel. It burns with a blue smokeless flame. It does not leave ash after burning. It has a high calorific value, about 55 kJ per gram. Uses of natural gas. Natural gas can be used as a domestic and industrial fuel, for obtaining hydrogen on industrial scale, for manufacturing carbon black. Do you know, methane of the natural gas can be converted to hydrogen by heating it strongly in the presence of catalyst. Carbon black is used in rubber industry as a reinforcing agent, strengthening agent. For example, carbon black is used in tires and tubes in automobiles, as the raw material for manufacturing petrochemicals and fertilizers. In India, natural gas has been found in Tripura, Rajasthan and Maharashtra and in the Krishna Godavari Delta. Compressed natural gas, CNG. Natural gas can be compressed under high pressure to obtain compressed natural gas, that is CNG. The CNG can be easily transported through pipelines. CNG is now being used as a fuel for automobiles via cars, buses, scooters, etc. On burning, CNG does not produce any smoke. Its products on burning are carbon dioxide and water. It leaves no ash on burning. Therefore, CNG is a clean or environment-friendly gas. Consequences of excessive mining and use of coal and petroleum. Coal and petroleum both are exhaustible or non-renewable source of energy, so the excessive mining and use of coal and petroleum would lead to the following. Both the important sources of energy will get exhausted in near future. This will cause energy crises. Coal is mined from underground coal deposits. Excessive mining of coal will create a large hollow space inside the earth. As a result of this, the land may collapse, leading to minor earthquakes. Petroleum occurs at a much greater depth inside the earth. It is pumped out with the help of powerful pumps. The mining of petroleum will create hollow space deep inside the earth. This might lead to minor or major earthquakes. Coal and petroleum. Petrol, diesel, kerosene, etc. on burning produce carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen and sulfur, vapor of unburnt hydrocarbons and smoke. These gases may cause the following. Carbon dioxide. Release of excessive amount of carbon dioxide will give rise to the greenhouse effect. Due to the greenhouse effect, temperature on the earth will rise, called global warming, and the polar ice will melt. This will cause flooding of low-lying areas. The rise in temperature on the earth will affect monsoon and pattern of crop cultivation. Carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is highly poisonous gas. When inhaled, it combines with hemoglobin. As a result, hemoglobin cannot carry oxygen to the body tissues. This causes deficiency of oxygen in the body, leading to suffocation and even death. Oxides of sulfur and nitrogen. These gases cause respiratory problems and acid rain. Acid rain causes corrosion of lime, marble, and metallic structures. Some important resources are limited. Coal and petroleum are fossil fuels. These are formed in nature by very slow process inside the earth. If consumed at a rate faster than the rate at which these are formed in nature, these will get exhausted very soon. As per present estimate, the existing petroleum reserves might get exhausted in the next 50 years. Coal deposits might last for another 150 to 200 years. This would lead to the energy crisis. Therefore, we must take proper steps to conserve these natural resources. The Petroleum Conservation Research Association, that is PCRA, has given the following suggestions to save petroleum for future generations. Drive at constant and moderate speed. Do not use accelerator quite often. Switch off the engine at traffic lights or when you have to wait for someone. Maintain correct tire pressure. Get your vehicle serviced at regular interval. So now you know. Natural gas occurs above petroleum. It mainly consists of methane. Natural gas is a clean fuel because it does not cause pollution of the air and leaves no ash. Compressed natural gas is used in automobiles as a clean fuel. Petroleum occurs deep inside the earth. It is believed that petroleum was formed due to the decomposition of a dead plant and animals under high temperature, high pressure, and in the absence of air inside the earth. Petroleum is refined by fractional distillation. The main products obtained from petroleum are petroleum gas, petrol, kerosene, diesel, fuel oil, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, and asphalt. Excessive use of mining of coal and petroleum may lead to energy crises, result the creation of a large hollow space underneath which may cause minor earthquakes or landslide, lead to greenhouse effect, acid rain, and many other health problems. Thank you.